We're going to be looking at a passage today, and what I've done is I've taken all the scriptures that refer to that particular passage and tried to merge them as best I can. Might not be wholly satisfactory, but we'll see as we go through it. I've entitled this The Precious Ointment, and it's about a family who actually knew Jesus very well. And they saw him in a song we've just seen. We're going to see him someday. We haven't actually seen him physically. One day we're going to see it. They would actually see him and meeting him regularly, but in a marvelous situation. So let's have a look at this. We're looking at, it's coming from, as it says on Matthew chapter 26, 1 to 16, Mark 14, 1 to 11, and John 12, 2 to 8. Then it came about that when Jesus had finished all these words, he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man is to be delivered up for crucifixion." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people were gathered together in the court of the high priest named Caiaphas, and they plotted to seize Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they were saying, "Not during the festival, lest a riot occur among the people." Jesus, therefore, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. So at the house of Simon the leper, this bit isn't in the scriptures, it's a bit I've added, who appears to be the father of Lazarus, Martha and Mary. About 2 days before the Passover, they made him a supper, and Martha was serving. But Lazarus was one of those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary came with an alabaster, that is pure nard, vial of very costly perfume, and approaching Jesus, she broke the vial and poured it over his head, and anointed his feet, wiping them with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. On seeing this, Judas Iscariot, who was intending to betray him, spoke out, and the disciples joined in their indignation. "Why this waste? For this perfume might have been sold for 300 denarii. And I put a bit in there, a denarius was equivalent to 1 day's wage. "And the money given to the poor." Now Judas said this, not because he was concerned for the poor, but because he was a thief. And as he had the money box, he used to pilfer what was put into it. But Jesus, hearing this, said to them, "Why do you bother the woman? For she has done a good deed to me. For the poor you have with you always, and whenever you wish you can do them good, but you do not always have me. For when she poured this perfume upon my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. She has anointed my body beforehand for burial. Truly I say to you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done shall also be spoken of in memory of her." A great multitude, therefore, of the Jews, learning that he was in Bethany, came, not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might also see Lazarus, whom he raised from the dead. But the chief priests took counsel that they might put Lazarus to death also, because on account of him many of the Jews were going away and were believing in Jesus. But one of the 12, named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What are you willing to give me to deliver him up to you?" And they weighed out to him 30 pieces of silver. And from then on, he began looking for a good opportunity to betray him. This story occurs towards the end of Jesus' earthly life. We were approaching the Passover at which he would give his life. A little while before that, he had raised Lazarus from the dead. He'd also had a run-in with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and they were none too happy with him, and they were out to kill him. But for some, probably just over a year now, he had been telling his disciples that he was on the road to death. He was going to the cross for them, but they hadn't understood it. And so we come to this story. Bethany was a place only about 2 miles from Jerusalem and very near to the Mount of Olives, so they were all in a triangle very close together. It was a place that Jesus often came to. He often visited this family from Bethany. So we read here, it came about that when Jesus finished all the words, he spoke to his disciples, and he said, in a couple of days' time, the Passover is coming. But yet, later on, we read that there are 6 days before the Passover. Now, how do we reconcile this? Well, if you look up Exodus 12, this is the explanation of the Passover. And we see in there that the Passover lamb, I'll just read a bit of it. Now the Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month shall be the beginning of months for you. It is the first month of the year to you." Now this was the first month of the year to the Jews. This was a special time, the Passover, when all the Jews were supposed to gather together in Jerusalem. That's why there were so many around at this particular time. And he says, "Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, on the 10th of this month you are to take a lamb for yourselves." So here, they were to take a lamb. It had to be a lamb that was clean, unblemished, a male, a year old. You could take it from the sheep or the goats in verse 5. And then in verse 6 it says, "You shall keep it until the 14th day." 4 days. 4 days. And then that's where it slots in, because the 4 and the 2 make up the 6. So Jesus came before the preparation of the Passover to Bethany, 6 days before. And then on 2 days before, it would appear that he visited Bethany for this supper. He was already in Bethany, but he came to visit the house for this particular supper. Although it says 2 days, it doesn't actually mean that it was necessarily that particular time. He's talking about 2 days the Son of Man is coming. I bubbled that up. But it doesn't. The scripture doesn't actually say when this actual supper took place. It gives an indication that it was 2 days before the Passover, but within the 6. I hope that's clear. Sorry, I bubbled that up a bit there. So we see already the chief priests and the elders of the people, they were gathered. We've got various sections in this. You've got the chief priests and elders. You've got the household in Bethany. You've got Jesus and you've got the disciples. And they all react differently at this particular time. They've come for this supper. And the supper was an important occasion. The men were gathered and the women served. They weren't actually allowed to come in and interfere with that. But that's how it was. But the chief priests and the elders, having been, having got so far with Jesus and seeing that he was bringing everybody with them, decided that they really didn't want to get rid of this man. Because they held their positions by the grace of the Roman Empire. So when they say, look, we're not going to do it during the festival because there could be a riot, they knew that if there was a riot, they could well lose their positions as the leaders of the people. And Israel could be destroyed. So they plotted to seize Jesus. Notice that it says in there, they plotted by stealth to kill him. They were going to do it slyly. They didn't want all these troubles around his disciples or anybody else. They wanted just to capture him and deal with him quietly. So they didn't want to deal with it at the Passover. They were really at a bit of loss as to how they were going to do this. Because if you go onto the back sheet, the second page, it says a great multitude of the Jews came to Bethany to see him. And then it goes down, but the chief priests took counsel that they might also put Lazarus to death. So this is they couldn't have Lazarus, who had been raised by Jesus. He was the living proof of what Jesus could do. The amazing thing is that although Lazarus was raised from the dead, and if you remember he was in the tomb several days, although he was raised from the dead, such a remarkable event, all they could think of was, this is going against us. They could not see Jesus in the raising of the dead. And this is how so many religious leaders And these are the people, even today, look upon Jesus, but they cannot see him for who he is. They see him as an interferer, a nuisance. Yes, they'll take the lovely things and they'll probably say, oh yes, yeah, we agree, he was a prophet, he was a good man. And, you know, a lot of what we see in communism is taken from, they often say, you know, Jesus was a communist. Jesus was nothing like him, he wasn't political. Jesus came as the Son of God to this world to show us God's care for us and to give us redemption. We who didn't deserve it. The Jews that had turned against him, and us, the Gentiles that didn't even know him. He came for us. So that's the state of the chief priests and elders. Judas and the rest of the disciples have been told repeatedly that Jesus was going to die on the cross. But it appears that at this time there were all these rumours going around about a Messiah coming, and the Messiah that often the Jews saw was a Messiah that was for them, not the Gentiles, not anybody else, just for them, to free them from the Roman Empire and to set up the kingdom of Israel as it was in David's time. They had misread. If you look at Isaiah 53 and also other parts of Isaiah, you will see the words that fully explain who Jesus was. It's remarkable, even today, that if a Jew often can read through the Old Testament, particularly Isaiah, how many are coming to know him as Lord through Isaiah 53, the suffering servant? And so they didn't see him as this, and they came to this feast. It was put on in Simon the leper's house. Now, a leper was a person that was discarded in those days. You wouldn't have him in the house. You wouldn't have him anywhere near you. It was a terrible disease, and he was unclean. So this Simon the leper must have been healed at some time, because here he was in this house. From what some of the commentators say, they reckon that this Simon was also the father of Lazarus, Mary and Martha. So now we've got to this bit. They're all gathered in for this supper, all these men, and then suddenly we read that Martha is waiting on them. Suddenly this woman appears. John gives her name as Mary. She walks in with this perfume, this bottle of perfume. And she comes up to Jesus and she breaks it. She smashes it, breaks it open. It can never be used again, this vial. It's there broken. And she pours it on his head and wipes his feet and wipes it with her hair. And all these men are looking on. What is she doing? What is happening here? I can imagine all sorts of things that we don't know whether it was just people that were the disciples that were there. There may have been more that were gathered around looking at this woman. Not only interfering with the men's meeting, but then supper, not serving them, but coming in to pour this ointment over this person. What is going on? Well, the disciples were very clear what was going on. And we read that Judas, he seems to have started this. Why this waste? This perfume might have been sold for all of this money and the money given to the poor. Now, what it says in here when they got angry about it, the anger is his nostrils were on fire. He was really angry, and so were the disciples. It was very deep anger. They were furious that this woman had come in and wasted all of this perfume on this Jesus. For Judas Iscariot, who had probably be gathered over the years, had seen this man and had followed him, he was one of his disciples. He had been sent out with the 70 to heal the sick. And so he must have been involved in all of that and seen what Jesus could do, but he couldn't get rid of the idea of a political Messiah. A Messiah that was going to free Israel from all of Rome. and set up this new kingdom. And he had come on and he had seen this. But here, Jesus replied, I follow this woman. Don't you understand? She has anointed me because I am just about to go to a burial. I am going to die. Was this the real hub in which Judas had now grasped? Had he really grasped now that he had been mistaken all along? He had followed this man who he thought was going to be his Messiah to set Israel free, and now he was going to die on it. And it's something completely out of his mind. Inside, he must have been very angry that for all those years he had wasted his time. And now it comes to this. And we read afterwards at the end of the second sheet that although the Jews had been puzzled about how they were going to kill him, Judas went to the chief priests and said, what are you willing to give me to deliver him up to you? And they weighed out 30 pieces of silver. 30 pieces of silver, that was the price that was also mentioned in the Old Testament about giving up Jesus. They had got it. What a relief the elders and the leaders of Israel had. Here was this man. We were looking all the time. They must be thinking, look, how are we going to get this man? How are we going to do it? And now, one of the 12, one of his disciples had come and said, I'll give him up to you. I'll tell you when to come and get him if you want. They must have rubbed their hands with glee. No wonder they paid out the 30 pieces of silver. Judas had come to that point where he had discarded Jesus as the Saviour. And then we come to Jesus and see what he says. He saw what was going on as the woman came forward and broke the fire and poured it over him, and the reaction of his disciples. Because it wasn't just Judas that complained, the others joined in as well. They too hadn't seemed to grasp what was going on. Why do you bother the woman? She's done a good deed to me. Don't you understand that you have the poor with you always? He wasn't discarding the poor, but he was saying, you always have those. You've got me, and I'm not going to be here for much longer. He had put himself above all the poor. He put himself above everything. And what he was looking at also was the disciples had said, and Judas, what are you doing with this? And got really angry. So they were not just discarding the woman, they were discarding the person, the very person of Jesus. If he truly was the Son of God, if they had truly believed that, why were they complaining about this woman? Because they hadn't known that he was going to death, despite the fact that he had repeatedly told them. It hadn't sunk in to them as to what was happening. So by this very act that the disciples carried out, and being angry with the woman, they were also showing anger with the position of the Son of God. When she poured this perfume upon my body, she did it for my burial. She has anointed my body beforehand, the burial. Had she seen, had this woman of God seen that Jesus was going to go to the cross, and therefore she came down to prepare him ready for him, because they are persecuted, imprisoned, all sorts of things, the states they live in, and they know for sure if they give their life to Jesus, they're going to be in for it. We don't have that over here, but sometimes when we give our life to Jesus, it is very hard. Sometimes our families are not happy with it. And sometimes our work colleagues and others are not happy with it. It's quite an amazing thing that we can proclaim the joys of wealth, sexual activity, entertainment, and religion so long as it doesn't interfere with all of those three things. So long as it doesn't interfere with my life, we're happy to go along with religion. And we even join in our various festivals at Christmas or Easter, or having a child so-called christened, or having a wedding there, and the world draws upon all of those things. But Christ and his demands on us, that's another matter. So as we come in to break bread, let us recall just who Jesus is and the tremendous love the Father